Hello, it's your boy Davidoff. It is that time again for the Premier League table predictions. I usually do it like a more professional, not professional, but a more formal format, if that's even the right term to use. But today we're using Tier Maker. Every Premier League predictor I normally see is just a table prediction for every single game. So I got to predict 380 games just to get the final ladder. I'm just like, I just want to place teams in positions, mate. And there's no website that does that apparently, so... I wrote it on the notes on my phone just like last year, and I'm going to use Tier Maker to visualize it, and then you see my actual ladder afterwards on the screen in full. So yeah, my predictions are going to be interesting. There's a few that will look way off where they should be probably, but I thought maybe there might be some unpredictable things here, but there's a lot of things I predicted that are actually predictable as well. But there's a couple teams here and there where you might think, why are they that high up? Or why are they that low down? But we'll see how it goes. I'll start at the bottom. Southampton! They just came up, of course, and I want them to stay up. I want them to stay up. But in my opinion, they will go straight back down. They will finish last and go straight back down. I do hope I'm wrong, because I like them as a club. I think if I had an ideal Premier League 20, they would be in it. But I just can't see them staying up. That's the issue. So I'm going to leave them there. In 19th place, Nottingham Forest. Another team that I like. In fact, they're a big reason why we wear red and white. They got influence on Arsenal, actually. That's my team, by the way, if you didn't know. Obviously, there's no obvious indications of that, but I'm a massive Arsenal fan since the age of 5. But anyway, I'm also almost 29, so that gives you perspective. I've seen us win titles, but when I was a kid, would like to see us win titles again. As an adult, that'd be great, because there was a lot of pain as a teenager. But let's move on. We'll get to Arsenal eventually. Nottingham Forest in 19th. I like them as a club. Not just because they got a history of Arsenal, but I just like them as a club as a whole. I want them to stay up, just like Southampton. But I think they're going to go down. I think they're going to go down. They've only just stayed up a couple of times as well. I just don't think they're good enough to hold their position for too long. I think it's inevitable they will go down at some point. I think it's this year. Again, hope I'm wrong. In 18th place, another red team. We have Brentford. We have the Bees. Another team that I actually quite like. I don't like playing against them, because when we play against them, we generally have a tough time. But I like them as a team. I like them as a club. But just like the other two, I just can't see them staying up. Again, I could be wrong. Obviously, I put them 18th, so they could be just going down. But I think them going down is a real possibility. So, yeah, these are the three teams that got going straight down. And one of these teams are newly promoted. The other two teams obviously got staying up. Speaking of newly promoted, I got Ipswich Town finishing 17th. I like this addition to the Premier League because it's someone fresh, someone new. You know, they've not been in the top flight a long time. And when they got promoted, I'm just like, yes, I really wanted that, because it had been a while. Since, I don't know, right, we got something fresh in recent years, but I mean, like, it felt like it's been a while since we got something fresh in Premier League, aside from Luton, of course. It just felt right, and I want them to stay up. But that's not simply why I put them 17th. I didn't put them 17th because I wanted to stay up. I want the other three to stay up here as well. But I just feel like I got a feeling about them. I got a good feeling that they would just stay up. I don't think they'll have a comfortable season. I think it'd be quite rocky, quite turbulent. But I think they will do just about enough to stay up. And I think next year they'll climb up the ladder a little bit. So I've got a good feeling that they are here to stay for at least a little bit. And at the very least, the first season. So I predicted them to just stay up. Only just. But we shall see how that goes down. In 16th place, I've got Crystal Palace, which might seem crazy based on the end of last season. They were playing very good football, but having said that, they're not going to keep. They were never going to keep that squad. It was kind of obvious that big teams would come in eventually for certain players, and they still will come in. I think part of the reason why that team ticked was certain players. I don't think they'll be at the same strength. I don't think they'll perform as well as we think they will, based on the end of last season. It would be like, oh, they could have a great season this year. I don't see it. I think they'll be back down to earth again. I think 16th place. It does feel harsh looking at it. I'm just like, it doesn't feel right putting them there, but I think that's where they'll finish. I think they'll have a bad season. I think they'll have a worse season than people expect them to have. I don't think they'll do that well. Just my opinion. Everton, I may have hit the camera, sorry. Everton, I've got finishing 15th. Another season for them that's not so good. I think they'll do a bit better than the way they started the last 2 seasons, I guess. But I think that they'll get more wins this season, but I don't think they'll climb that high up the ladder. I said ladder. I think of the wrong sport. I don't think they'll climb that high up the table. So I think 15th is a good position. Not a good position, but I think that's a position where I would expect them to finish. In 14th place, Fulham. Fulham are a team that probably will struggle, but I just got this feeling that they'll just be in this area where they won't go down, but they won't go anywhere else. They would just be in this region of doing nothing the whole season. They'll just be a mid-table club, I think. And I think 14th might be a bit too nice for them, but that's where I'm going to put them. 13th place, Bournemouth. They made some good signings. I think their squad looks good. I think top 10 is actually possible for them. I think top 10, they can do top 10. But I've got them 13th. But like, I expect the table to be quite tight between like 9th and 14th anyway. I think 13th will be a realistic position for them. But I definitely think they can go higher. I think they can get a top 10 finish, I think. I just haven't got the cojones to actually put them in the top 10. But I genuinely think they could finish 13th. I think there's definitely a possibility. Brighton obviously fell off a bit last year. They've been a very good team for the most part, but they have fallen off a bit. Having said that, I reckon they'll do okay, but not that well this season. I think they'll finish 12th. Got them in 12th. They're just there. They're just doing their thing. Not anywhere near Europe. So that's what I think their season will be like. Wolves I got in 11th. They've always been quite a tough team to beat, and they've always just been there. Obviously, a couple times they were in high European places, of course. They did all right for themselves, but I think 11th is a good place to put them. Bear in mind, I came up with this prediction in about 5 minutes. I made a quick draft, and then I changed like 2 or 3 teams around, and this is the table you're seeing. I did this all in 5 minutes. So a few of these could be wrong. I'm getting excuses in now if I get them wrong. But if I get them wrong, it's fine. It's for the fun of it, alright? I guess maybe I'll do forfeits if I get them wrong. But like if I get them like badly wrong, not like a position off. But if I get something like really bad, then maybe I'll do some forfeits, because I feel like my table could happen. In 10th place, Leicester City. Another team where I've probably put them a bit higher than where they should be, a bit like Fulham. But I got a feeling about them. I don't know what it is. But I think Leicester are back where they belong. I think that shows that the fact that they came straight back up. I think they are where they belong. And I think they will have a much better season, much better first season back than people expect of them. I think they'll do great. I don't think they make Europe, but to come back and finish 10th first season is great for them. And I think that's what they'll do. I think they'll finish 10th place. I'm going to put it, I'm not going to bet on it. I'm definitely not going to bet on it, but I'm going to say they'll finish 10th. In 9th place, West Ham. I think they'll, sorry, we're still here. I think they'll, they weren't getting to Europe, but they only just missed out. I think they'll have a good. I think to an extent they'll have a good season. I don't think they'll be completely bad. Obviously, things will change a bit. Obviously, with changes with Moyes and everything, they were in a great position. Of course, a season or two ago, they had that brilliant season. Then the year after, they won that Conference League. They've had a great time, and I don't think they're going down just yet. I think they're not there to stay in Europe, but I think they will be. They will have a season that's okay. I don't think they have a bad season, but not a great season either. Having said that, I don't think 9th is really a bad season for them. But it is based on their previous recent seasons that they've had. I think 9th is a good position for them. 8th place, I have got Newcastle. I don't think Newcastle will be as inconsistent, I guess, as last year. But last year had a lot of injuries. A few dodgy games. They could have done better last year. And it showed because they improved quite a lot towards the end of the season. With getting players back and everything. And obviously the Tonali thing definitely effed them over. Can't really deny that. And a few other scandals, I guess. They had a very turbulent season, shall we say, compared to the season before. And I guess finishing 8th would be below what their targets would be. You could definitely see that not happening. You definitely see them finishing higher. But I think them finishing 8th is a possibility, and I think that can definitely happen. So, yeah, we've got this section cleared now. 7, they've got 13 teams, so yeah. I'm just checking there's enough. We got all the teams in there. Aston Villa is my team in 7th, and this is where I'm gonna say I've played it too safe, because the top 6 are gonna be the big 6. I know that's boring, but I think that's where the teams could be. I think the only team dropping out the big 6 could be Spurs, but we'll get to that. Aston Villa, I predicted to finish 7th. They got a good squad, and they're constantly improving. They're constantly playing better. This year, they're in the Champions League. I don't think they'll be in the Champions League next year, but I could be wrong, of course, because if they did it once, they can do it again, for sure. I think they'll actually do quite well in the Champions League as well. I don't think they'll go all the way, obviously, but I think at the very least, they'll get to the knockouts and maybe even the quarters, maybe a season similar to Leicester when they were in the Champions League. I think they'll actually do quite well compared to like Newcastle. So I think having a European role, I can't even speak. I think having a European run, it wouldn't necessarily distract them. It wouldn't distract them, but I think playing more games would definitely hinder their Premier League position, I think. At least in my opinion. I think they'll have some big games of Champions League to play. Alongside the league games, I think it will have an effect on them. I could be wrong. I do like the club. They're a good club, and I want them to do well. But for now, I got them 7th, and that is my prediction for them for the season. But they are definitely a team that can prove me wrong and finish higher. But I know for a fact they won't finish lower than that. So there you go. All right, we're on to the big 6 now. I've gone Chelsea in 6th. I've gone for them to improve, I guess. They'll be more consistent this year. But I still got them down in 6th because I'm trying to think of a good reason here, because I don't really have a good reason. I'm just basing this off last season. They made progress, I think. They had a bad start to the season, but the second half was better. But it was mainly because of Cole Palmer. Cole Palmer was the main reason why they were back to where they were. Without Cole Palmer, if you take him out, where are Chelsea, realistically? So I think they're relying a lot on the youngster to have another great season, because they bought all these players, spent all this money. The team still hasn't fully gelled, I think. There's certainly signs of improvement there, for sure. Like, you're definitely seeing the signs that they are getting better, they are improving, they're getting better at playing each other. At the end of the day, though, Cole Palmer's a big reason why they are there. So I don't know if him alone is enough. I need to still see what the team can do, especially under a new coach now, because they've got rid of Pochettino. Which Pochettino, obviously, he's not a proven winner. But was it the right time to sack him? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I feel like they were showing good signs towards the end of last season, so maybe they should have kept him. But we'll see whether that's a good decision or not this season, I guess. But I think 6th place is realistic for them. But if they finish higher, fair enough. Spurs, I think a few people probably will have them dropping a little bit, even like down here somewhere. I don't see that for them. I don't think they have they have a season that's very Spurs, I guess, because they have some sparks, they do have some good runs of form, but they also have trends where they have a bad run of form. They have a very on and off season a lot of the time. Sometimes they start well, then they start flopping a bit. It depends on the season, really, like what order they go in. But usually they have periods where they do really well and they look unbeatable, and other periods where they just look like anyone can beat them. So, and it always happens every single season for them. So I don't think they'll be consistent enough to make top 4. But I also got them finishing just outside the top 4 in 5th place. Maybe based on my reasoning of the last 2 teams, maybe I should put Chelsea in 5th. But I'm going to stick to my guns. I'm going to stick to my 5 minutes of thinking for this table. And I'm going to keep Spurs in 5th. Top 4! I'm going to get the boring part out of the way. As an Arsenal fan, I want to win the league. I want to win the league, but I just can't see us beating Man City. We've done it. We've tried it twice. The first time we bottled it really badly because we had an 8-point lead in February, lost that. Got a 5-point lead in April, we lost that. We lost to, and we drew with West Ham from a 2-goal lead, Liverpool 2-goal lead. Drew Southampton 3-3. Like, we lost games and drew games that we should have won. And we lost it in the most spectacular fashion after being top for most of the season. So that was just like really heartbreaking. The season after, last season, we were much more consistent. We didn't lose so many easy games. We lost just 1 game since December. We looked great. However, Man City only lost twice since October, since the start of October in the league. Only lost 2 games in the league since the start of October. When you're up against that, we lost 3 games in December. December's where we lost the league last year. We only lost it by a point. We lost it by 1 point. 1 measly little point. Again, heartbreaking. It wasn't a bottling like the season before, but it was still heartbreaking. And I think it'll be heartbreaking again this season. We're going to lose again. I hope I'm wrong. I want us to win the league. I really want it. But I think City will win the league again. And I think we will finish 2nd again. I've got Liverpool 3rd. Man United 4th. Whether these teams can challenge for the title, I don't think United will. I think they'll be in the top 4 battle with these 2. I think that is what will happen. I think Liverpool will be comfortable in 3rd at the very least. Possibly battling for the title, but honestly, I think the title race will be Man City, Arsenal. Liverpool, I think, it will take some time for them. I don't think Onslaught, how do you even pronounce his name? Onslaught or something. I don't think he'll immediately make an impact. I don't think he'll hit the ground running. I think there'll be like a season where they do okay, but not title challenging okay. But next season, they might be back to being a top challenging team again. But yeah, that's my prediction. So City to win the league, unfortunately. Arsenal to miss out. Liverpool to comfortably in 3rd at least. Man United, Spurs and Chelsea to battle for the 4th place, but Man United to come out on top. Villa to finish 7th. Newcastle in 8th, West Ham 9th, Leicester City 10th, Wolves 11th, Brighton 12th, Bournemouth 13th, Fulham 14th. Then you got Everton 15th, Palace 16th, Ipswich 17th, and going down relegated is Brentford in 18th, Forest in 19th, Southampton in 20th. And if you want the full table, here it is. Obviously, it's on the tier maker anyway, but this is how I wrote it down on my iPhone app. If you don't know what I changed, I had Bournemouth in 16th, I think. And I think I moved Fulham up as well. What else? I changed something else. Yeah, I had Spurs in 7th. And I had Newcastle higher up. So I swapped a few around. And also Liverpool Man United as well. I had Man United in 3rd. I dropped them down to 4th. So that's what I changed. I changed a few things here and there. But this is literally just 5 minutes. I did a quick draft, changed those teams around, and I'm just like, yes, we're good to go. If it's right, I'm a genius. I'm a genius. Can you imagine I get all 20 right? It would be insane. Don't put money on that. Don't put money on this. Don't do it. I'm not going to lose your money, mates. This is your boy Davidoff. Please like, share, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Have a good day and goodbye.
Let's take it slow. Where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow. Who cares where we gotta be? You know you'll have a good time where